The original idea behind making Yagazem Elements, which is the game this video is about, was to build a project that would teach me about the process of making games, from planning to publishing. In the end, I've learned a lot, but I've also made a ton of mistakes that I'm only realizing now, with the project nearing its end. I mean, all that's left is for the game to be published, but I digress. Let me walk you through this journey and highlight some key points in a chronological order. My first mistake was I didn't make a game design document. At first I was just winging it with the game design, but about a week into starting the project, I had to take a break for the next 3 weeks from working on it. Once I got back, I wasn't sure where to take the project next. So I started writing out some ideas and consolidating what I had done so far in order to make the vision clearer. In the end, I had to scrap many of the mechanics I had already programmed, had to rework the entire structure of the code, and it was just a complete mess. The thing that I learned from this mistake was that it is probably faster to first test out your game ideas on paper and then get the coding. This is what the game looked around that time, a cheap UI element based prototype. GDD also helped me with figuring out what kind of art style I would use, since I was able to quickly browse through many inspirations because I had already written down what the game mechanics would be. This is the style I settled on: 2D pixel art, mostly pre-rendered using Blender, with icons being handmade. I used Blender because I wanted to use the godot's 2D light system, but I didn't feel like making normal maps manually. Instead, I just made a shader and rendered all the 3D objects into 2D sprites. I also used Blender for the golem parts, since each part is quite different visually and can end at various points. Pre-rendering them into 2D sprites loses the depth information. This means the sprites don't know which part should be in front of the others. As such, I just exported the depth information as black and white image, and made a shader that takes in those textures and only displays the color information of the one in front. As for the pixel output shader, I just used this Blender add-on. Lesson that I learned from experimenting like this is to prototype, try many things, and also to fail quickly. Before I got to producing all the art assets in the final art style, I tested the work pipeline by making one sample scene that could be used in the game, playing around with shader parameters, the colors of the pixel art, etc. Another roadblock came in the form of serialization of data, in other words, saving the game progression. Because of my laziness, I relied on godot's resources and did not learn any binary or other alternatives. Ignoring the obvious security issues that come bundled with executing arbitrary code with the resources, this saving system was just a nightmare to locate and fix the bugs for. Lots of stuff kept breaking, and I had to always adjust the already existing data structures I was using just so that Godot could automatically serialize them for me. Finally came the time when the game seemed as good as finished, and I had decided to start researching on how to publish the game. Turns out, I probably should have done this way before. I mean, like, at least make an account for Steamworks so that I don't have to wait for the minimum of 21 days just so I can release my game on the platform. My last but definitely not the smallest mistake was using large language models as often as I did for problem solving. This segment is more of a personal rant about a problem that I actually caused myself, but to put it simply, as a programmer, I've lost the ability to code for prolonged periods of time, trying to solve an issue without feeling frustrated. I feel like the more I'm using LLMs, the less mental fortitude I have. It was once the best feeling coding could give me, after racking my brain for hours on a problem and solving it, turned to almost a rage quit equivalent that we have in gaming. But anyways, the game should release on March the 18th. And if you're interested in supporting me, go ahead and check the game out. If you're interested in some useful Gamedev related resources that I've shown in the video, they should be in the description. But that is everything for me, so thanks for watching and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.